Hello, everyone. Coming up here on the Pro Wrestling Show, as you see, MJF celebrating his title win. What's next for MJF? MJF have something in store. We'll talk about what MJF has in plan coming up here on the Pro Wrestling Show. But here's the rundown. In the main event, Swerve Strickland takes on Kevin Knight, as well as Kenny Omega takes on Josh Alexander to sell a few. Samoa Joe takes on Speedball Mike Bailey, one half of the new Trios Tag Team Champions. The Death Riders taking the Street Fight, take on the Don Callis family. And like we said, we'll hear from MJF, plus Megan Bain and Penelope Ford taking on the Timeless Love Bomb and the Tag Team Champions FTR against the new team Jordan Oliver and Alex Price, as well as the Triangle Madness got something to say. You get the Pro Wrestling Show started right here, right now. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this edition of the Pro Wrestling Show. I'm your host, as always, Kendrick Dix here. Glad you join us here on the Pro Wrestling Show. Join in the conversation using the hashtag Pro Wrestling here on Connect. And don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe, Miss Karen. Tell a friend, call a friend. Yeah, subscribe when you won't miss a thing. All right, let's get to it right here, right now. We're gonna get with this man right here, MJF. MJF trying to act like more like Ric Flair, Harley Race. Back in his day, MJF trying to showcase his abilities on wrestling. And I think Tony Schiavone had the distinction to with MJF. MJF showing his ability with the belt, showing what he's all about until he got confronted by Big Brody King. Big Brody King confronted MJF about what he did last week to Bandino when MJF went one-on-one against Bandino. And Bandino showing the world what he wants to do and stuff like that. And MJF showing the world that Bandino did, stood up to MJF. MJF saying that Bandito, he kind of was matching up to Bandino. He was keeping up with MJF. I can tell you that right now, that match. But MJF kicked Bandino in the crotch, leaving Bandino out. And Bandino left alone. What went down? MJF saying that Bandino could be a future AEW World Champion someday. You can see that probably coming around. But MJF might go against Bandino coming up. You might see that coming up sooner rather than later. So you could be seeing MJF versus Bandino one-on-one for the AEW Championship down the road. Probably see that match at Revolution. If that be the case, we could probably see that coming up. Well, we get to this right here. MJF was scouting to see who wants a shot at his title, his B championship belt. The BB or whatever the MJF calls it. Well, he ain't waiting no farther because there's a lot of challenges waiting in line just to see if they can get a shot at the championship belt. So, well, we saw Samoa Joe lay waste to what Joe laid waste to. Joe laid waste to Speedball Mike Bailey, took him down. Samoa Joe from Mike Bailey that he ain't nothing to be played with. Mike Bailey really put his effort. Mike Bailey won the Trios Tag Team titles along with Hangman Adam Page and Kevin Knight. We'll see Kevin Knight a little bit later on the show. Samoa Joe getting his retribution, his revenge of what went down. Samoa Joe not happy about that. after what went down. And Joe wants to take his anger and frustrations out after what happened. Don't be shocked no surprise if Samoa Joe does what he does. Let me tell you that right now about Samoa Joe. Brian Keith down as well. Speaking of that, Kevin Knight, along with Ebon Mike Bailey and Hangman Page, are the new trio tag team champions. They did so last week by doing what they did, and now they repping the benefits of being trios tag team champions. And we saw tonight Samoa Joe getting some measure of revenge on Speedball Mike Bailey on what happened last week. Also, too, we saw this right here. FTR was in action. FTR, the tag team champions, went against the new tag team of Jordan Oliver and Brody. I forgot, but they won their match tonight. But the tag team champions are standing strong. A lot of people are standing strong tonight. Even this right here, you can tell right here from John Moxley calling out the Don Callis family. It look like the Death Rider is going to be going against the Don Callis family some way, somehow. We can see that being that way. But the Death Riders taking their want to take their frustration now. They want to be a babyface group. Went from a role group to now want to be a babyface group. We see that being that way. Well, as this, remember last week, Kid Omega got called out by Don Callis on behalf of Josh Alexander. Alexander went against Omega one-on-one. He did. What a match that was. What went down and stuff. We saw Omega getting the victory over Josh Alexander. Josh Alexander lost to Ken Omega. Well, thought that would have been like a serious threat. Because Alexander lost and put Ken Omega over. I would have thought that would have probably made more sense. Ken Omega would have been on his hands and knees. MJF paying real close attention on this matter with Ken Omega. Ken Omega said that he wants to be the one to step up and challenge him to belt. After what MJF did to him, he wants to do so. So see that being a case down the road for MJF. MJF is going to have a lot of challenges coming his way sooner rather than later. So we could see that being that way in a moment. Also, too, we saw the Timeless. I'm going to show them right quick. See Maria Shin putting her hands on Tony Storm, leading Tony Storm out. After the Timeless Love Bombs did what they did, and you can tell right here. You saw right here. A moment right here, the Timeless Love Bombs getting the victory with help of Maria Sherrill doing that to Tony Storm. I think Tony Storm and Maria Sherrill really ain't got no love lost for each other. I can tell you that right now between these women. How these women operate on forward. I can tell you that right forward. Well, we saw Daniel Garcia was in action. We saw Daniel Garcia, like I said, help the Death Riders out. Did what they did in that tag team match. Like AEW was kind of stale, but hey, you got what you can work with. You had to work with. Well, we get to the main event. The main event was Kevin Knight, one half of the new trios tag team champions. Kevin Knight was in action. Knight was in action against this man right here, Hangman's unlikely tag team partner. Unlike tag team partner on the show, Swerve Strickland. What a match that was. You saw that as well. Swerve won the match. Swerve beat Kevin Knight in a high stakes, high octane match. Was Swerve won the match. As MJF was watching his challengers and stuff coming around, but MJF's gonna have to realize that his challenge is gonna be coming around Brody King, Big Brody King. That's what he's gonna do. It's gonna be Big Brody King versus MJF down the road. MJF trying to scope out the competition as he did for the World Championship belt, as he did. So we see that moving forward. Like you said, we saw how that went down. We kind of got an indication of how it went down. MJF trying to scope his competition as he moved forward. All right, that ends the AEW Ring Report with Swerve Strickland. Let's move forward. Let's move forward to wrestling hot topics. On wrestling hot topics, we're gonna talk about this. We're hearing reports that Becky Lynch saying that she's gonna be having her final run WWE. She's mentioned it on WWE Unreal. She mentioned it on the Unreal on one episode that she was working with Live Vacuria and her struggles and stuff being a mom, and she's not struggling, but she's trying to find the niche and find the balance. But Becky Lynch saying that this could be her last WWE run. She took a year off after WrestleMania 40. Becky Lynch did do so, but like I said, Becky Lynch saying that WWE is being more accommodating to her, and she wants to leave on top. So this WrestleMania might be her last WrestleMania, going against AJ Lee. Mike will see her with the Intercontinental Championship passed over to AJ Lee moving forward. So we got that Unreal. Also, too, more Unreal. We'll talk about it, bits and pieces of it throughout Wrestling Hot Topics. We'll have a little bit more on the TNA Ring Report as well, the SmackDown Ring Report, as well as the Saturday Night Main Event. So we're starting off today with the first half of the Unreals, but it was kind of good. And so, I mean, it's must watch, must see if you want to peek behind the curtain and see how they do it outside the wrestling business. So we see that as well. All right. Thank you all for watching this edition of the Pro Wrestling Show presents the AEW Dynamite Ring Report. I've been your host, Skidger Dick, saying so long. We'll see you. We'll see you. But we'll see you coming up tomorrow for the TNA Ring Report here on the Pro Wrestling Show.